You're listening to a production of the National Media Archive. To learn more or volunteer, go to nationalmediaarchive.com.
Welcome, pizza lovers. Did you know that based on the number of new stores added each year, Little Caesars is officially the fastest growing pizza chain in the United States? That's right, faster than Pizza Hut, Domino's, or even Papa John's. But why is that? What gives Little Caesars that extra slice of momentum in a market dominated by giants? Let's unpack the numbers. In 2017, they raked in $3.72 billion in sales, more than triple what they made just a decade earlier. With over 50 locations in every U.S. state, they're not just a regional player, they're a national heavyweight. That's what's called market penetration, getting your product everywhere people look. You might be wondering, isn't Little Caesars just a value pick? Well, yes and no. They've taken the fast food model quick, cheap, convenient, and pushed it to the extreme. So today, let's explore how this chain carved out a unique space in America's pizza landscape, and why their growth story is more complex and more interesting than you might think. Let's set the stage. When it comes to U.S. pizza chains, 4 names tower over the rest: Pizza Hut, Domino's, Little Caesars, and Papa John's. While the rankings have shifted, with Domino's recently seizing the number 1 spot in sales, Little Caesars now sits solidly at number 3. But here's a twist. Many people don't realize how big they've become. Think of market share like slices of a giant pizza pie. Little Caesars is grabbing a bigger slice every year. In technical terms, that's called brand scaling, expanding reach while maintaining operational efficiency. Now, you might ask, what's made them stand out from the other 3? The answer isn't just price, it's a radically different business model. Stick with me as we break down the secret sauce behind their standout status and why being third in size doesn't mean they're third in influence. Let's be honest, if you're looking for the most gourmet pizza, you probably won't head to Little Caesars. But if you want a hot, ready pizza for under $6, they're unbeatable. Their entire brand is built around value proposition, delivering decent quality at a shockingly low cost. It's the classic trade-off: premium quality or unbeatable value. Now, you might be thinking, why would I choose Little Caesars for my next meal? Imagine you're organizing a kid's birthday party or a team celebration. You need 10 pizzas, fast, and you're not trying to break the bank. That's their sweet spot. This is called market segmentation, tailoring offerings to specific needs rather than trying to be everything to everyone. By leaning into affordability and convenience, Little Caesars has found and owned a niche that the competition struggles to match. To really understand Little Caesars, you have to break their story into 3 acts: rapid expansion, painful decline, and a remarkable comeback. From their founding in the 1950s through the early 90s, it was all growth, opening new stores, breaking into new markets. But then, things got rocky. Sales started to slip, and by the early 2000s, they were in a tailspin. You might wonder, what caused the slump? Competition ramped up, internal conflicts grew, and their brand identity got fuzzy. But here's the twist: in the mid-2000s, they pivoted, addressed their weaknesses, and reignited growth. That's the 3-act structure right there: a rise, a fall, and a redemption. And the key lesson: every business, even a pizza giant, needs to adapt or risk fading away. Let's rewind and dig into Act 1, the humble beginnings that set the stage for a national empire. Flashback to the 1950s. Mike Ilitch, a minor league baseball player, suffers a career-ending injury. Instead of giving up, he and his wife Mariam save 10, 0 about 100, 0 today adjusted for inflation, and open a pizza joint. Mike wanted to call it Pizza Treat. Mariam pushed for Little Caesars. The compromise? Little Caesars Pizza Treat. That's branding and action, finding a name that sticks. Within 3 years, they started franchising. By the end of the 60s, they had 50 stores. By the end of the 70s, over 200. That's exponential growth, or what business folks call scaling up, multiplying locations rapidly while maintaining a consistent product. You might ask, how did 2 people with no big business background pull this off? Simple: relentless expansion and a focus on low-cost, high-volume sales. It's a classic American dream story, turning adversity into opportunity and pizza into an empire. Let's talk tactics. Throughout the 80s, Little Caesars doubled their locations 500 by 1,000, 984, then 1, 0 by 1,000, 986. How? Aggressive franchising and relentless advertising. Here's where two technical terms come in. Franchising letting others buy the right to use your brand and system, and advertising spend how much you pump into getting your name out there. Little Caesars set a rule, spend 5% of annual sales on advertising. That's a massive investment, but it paid off. Think of those silly mascots and the unforgettable pizza. Pizza. Slogan it's called brand recall. Now you might say, isn't that just a gimmick? Actually, it's marketing genius. They made sure that whenever you thought of pizza, you thought of their catchphrase. Paired with smart partnerships like putting stores inside Kmart, they made their pizza available everywhere, driving both growth and recognition. Here's a secret to Little Caesars' success: operational efficiency. They decided early on to make their stores carry out only no dine-in, no servers, no dishwashers. What's operational efficiency? Basically, squeezing more value out of every dollar spent by cutting unnecessary costs. Their buildings are smaller, cheaper, and easier to open quickly. Now, you might be thinking, doesn't that make the restaurant less appealing? Sure, but it also lets them offer 2 pizzas for the price of 1 and keep prices ultra low. It's a classic example of economies of scale serving more customers with less overhead, which means more profit per pizza. By focusing on takeout, they not only saved money, but also positioned themselves perfectly for the grab-and-go culture we see dominating fast food today. But not all was cheesy and bright. Starting in the early 90s, Little Caesars hit a rough patch. Sales peaked at $2 billion in 1,992, then slid to $650 million by 2002, a dramatic drop. Let's break down why. First, new competitors like Papa John's exploded onto the scene, slicing the same pizza pie into more pieces. That's called market saturation, too many sellers, not enough buyers. Second, they changed their advertising strategy, slashing their budget from $53 million in 1,996 to under $3 million by 2001. They also abandoned their zany, memorable ads for more serious ones, losing their quirky identity. Now, you might ask, what about the people running the stores? Franchisees, the owners of individual locations, were frustrated by inconsistent leadership and costly changes. Some even sued, alleging they were forced into bad deals and overpriced ingredients. The lesson? When brand identity falters and relationships with franchisees sour, even a powerhouse can crumble, at least temporarily. So how did Little Caesars rise from the ashes? It's a classic turnaround story. They axed the problematic ad agency, launched new products like deep dish pizza, and reintroduced the 5 hot and ready deal. Here's where 2 more technical terms come in. Promotional pricing using limited time offers to drive sales and brand resurrection, bringing back beloved slogans or imagery. In 2012, they revived pizza. After 15 years, rekindling nostalgia. You might wonder, did they fix things with franchisees? Absolutely. After a massive $350 million lawsuit settlement, franchisees gained more say in decisions and costs. They even started a manage-to-own program, letting employees become owners, and launched incentives for veterans. That's called stakeholder alignment, making sure everyone benefits when the company succeeds. The result? Sales soared, and Little Caesars once again became a major force in the pizza world. Let's wrap up with the legacy. The Eilish family isn't just about pizza, they're woven into the fabric of Detroit. In 1982, they bought the Red Wings NHL team. A decade later, they acquired the Detroit Tigers MLB team. That's called vertical integration, owning businesses that complement each other within a broader ecosystem. Now, you might be thinking, does a pizza chain really matter to a city? For Detroit, Little Caesars is more than food. It's jobs, community investment, and civic pride. Mike Eilish passed away in 2017, but Marion still runs the empire. Their story is a testament to resilience, innovation, and the power of staying true to your roots. So next time you see that orange box, remember, you're not just grabbing dinner, you're taking a slice of American business history.